Welcome back to the Poor Mom YouTube channel. I am the host of the Poor Mom podcast, Tawana Edwards. And on this channel, I make my favorite cocktail and mocktail recipes and have a little story time. So today, our recipe is something that my friend Ashanti actually suggested in one of the podcasts that we have, where we did a Never Have I Ever Black Mom edition. And we were talking about different alcohols, and actually we're really talking about peach rum, which has been very difficult for me to find. I have this idea for like a peach cobbler drink, and I can't find peach Crown Royal. So my friend Ashanti, we were talking about the other flavors that they had, apple and vanilla Crown. And so she was like, you should make a root beer float using vanilla Crown Royal and Rum-Chata. So I went to Ashanti, I'm like, okay, so if I make this drink, what should we call it? She named my best friend. So for today's drink, one of my friends, if you listen to the podcast, you've heard her before. She's always on with me. Ashanti decided to call it Crown Roo-Chata. And it's basically a root beer float. So for this recipe, I am going to use Rum-Chata. Now, you guys usually know I do not suggest or force you guys to pick any one type of liquor. You can do whatever you want. If you can find this in another brand, that's perfectly fine. It's basically Roo-Chata con rum, which is a Caribbean rum with real dairy cream. So I don't know if I said that right. I probably butchered it. Dun 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 dun. Crown Royal. Now, you guys, the thing about Crown Royal, Apple Royal, even peach Royal, it's very, the taste of it, the actual like flavoring of it is very potent. So you really taste it. So you don't need a lot. And then I'm also gonna use some Godiva white chocolate flavored liquor. So some Godiva white chocolate flavored liquor. You guys, this stuff is so good. It mixes well with a lot of things, and hard to come by. For some reason, everybody likes the white chocolate flavored one, but whenever I find it, I buy it. And vanilla ice cream. Doesn't matter which flavor, which kind you use. You can use vanilla bean. I'm using Vividly Vanilla or Vanilla Vividly. I don't really know, but it's the Kroger brand. It gets the job done. You're also gonna need some root beer, whichever root beer you like. A&W is what I'm gonna be using today, but you can use whatever root beer you like. As well as a cup of ice. And my favorite thing, because my goal, you guys, is to, I like liquor, but I don't like to taste the liquor. It's like, I love coffee, but I don't ever drink my coffee black. Like, absolutely not. I need cream of some kind and sugar of some kind. I use Splenda and sugar-free creamer because it tastes the same and less calories, but you need flavoring. Like, you don't go to Starbucks and ask for a black coffee. At least I don't. I want my coffee to be disguised under the taste of all of sugary goodness. So I always use some simple syrup, not a lot, but just a little bit to add a little bit more sweet to it, because the goal is to have the same type of results from drinking liquor straight, but it tastes good and it's disguised. Here's the thing. I always use a shot glass to measure. I figure, you know, if you take a shot of something, it usually gets you buzzed. So I work in shot glasses. You can have whatever measuring cup you desire. Remember, a shot glass is almost about an ounce, and half a shot glass is about a half an ounce. And so that's how I measure out all my drinks. So you first start off with a half a shot vanilla Crown Royal. So you want to have about half a shot of that. So about half a shot of that. I'm telling y'all. Alright, I'm gonna go put it in the blender. A shot of Rum-Chata. Which is like a little bit more than an ounce. And you guys, I always make my drinks for 2 people. If you're making it for more, just times it by however many guests you're expecting or however many you're trying to make it for. A half a shot of the Godiva, or not the Godiva, just white chocolate liquor. Do you? Doesn't have to be what I'm using. A lot of liquor's going in there, huh? Okay. Then you want to take about, I would say, a half a shot of simple syrup just to add more flavor to it, make it sweet. Also gets the rest of that liquid in there, that liquor in there. Okay. Then you're gonna wanna add in some vanilla ice cream. I'm gonna say like I add in about 3 or 4 scoops of the vanilla ice cream. Usually an actual scooper. I still have not managed to buy one of those yet. I guess I will the next time. I just forget every time to buy. This is almost finished, so I'm just polishing it off in there. So. And then ice. And now we blend.
A few moments later.
All right, looks like liquid. I went ahead and lined my cup up with some caramel sauce. You can definitely line it up with chocolate. I just didn't have any chocolate, so I had caramel, so I just went with what I had, which tends to be what I do a lot. Go ahead and pour that in about halfway. Your liquor mixture, about halfway. And then top it off with some root beer. Go ahead and top that off with root beer. It will do what root beer does and ice cream. I'm not trying to make it go slow. I kind of did a little bit more than half, you guys. But and there you have it. It is a Crown Roo-Chata or Royal Roo-Chata. I'm not exactly sure what Ashanti called it, but it's one of those things. And you can top it off with some whipped cream if you want to make it a little bit, my favorite word, fancy. And a couple of drizzles of your chocolate or caramel in my case on the top. Look at that, it's all falling over. Ah! But I love it. And there you have it. It is a round Roo-Chata, a Crown Roo-Chata. I don't know. I'll let you guys know exactly what it is in the ingredients. As always, you guys don't have to follow along. I always put the ingredients inside the description below. there it is. When I tell you guys this is so good, I don't even like root beer floats the other way anymore. Like, this is it. This is pretty much, this is it. Like, I can't even see myself doing it any other way. Seriously. So for today's story time, I'm gonna tell you guys about the last time I actually had a crush on someone. And I don't know, like, if you guys remember, like, back in high school, you would be like, oh, he's cute, or oh, she's cute, however, and your friends would like kind of like nudge you to be like, oh yeah, and kind of encourage you. Well, you guys, that happened to me in my adult life. Like, seriously. My friends, Ashanti and Crystal, had me like the leader of the creep squad. Like, I was so creepy and cringy at work. At work. Like, literally, I worked with this individual. So me and my friends, like, we used to, you know how you have those walkers or whatever. You know, I work at a sit-down job. You need to get circulation going through your body, and also just step away from your screen, because literally that is straining on your eyes. And so we would walk in the mornings and in the afternoon. Usually we were going to go get food when we were doing it, but we would walk. So one day I wasn't feeling well. Like, I was like, I don't know, my stomach, I had like this nauseous feeling in my stomach. So I was telling my friend about it, and she was like, okay, let's go down and get you some toast. So Ashanti and me walked down to go get some toast, right? And never had I ever seen this one guy in my life. So I got some cinnamon raisin toast, because I mean, who wants plain toast? I don't even want plain toast. So I got some cinnamon raisin toast, and we get back in the elevator, okay? And the guy gets back in the elevator, and for privacy's sake, or for my own sake, I'm gonna call the guy Georgia. So Georgia gets in the elevator, and he proceeds to tell me and Ashanti, he was like, oh, that smells so good. And we were like, oh, you mean the Raisin brand? Oh, okay. Yeah, it is. He was like, man. And so for some reason, the conversation went to grits and sugar and grits, and him telling us that he was from the South, Georgia specifically, and how he likes sugar in his grits. Listen, it's not up for debate. Have it however you want. I personally have sugar in mine. If you want salt, do you. And some pepper, do you. It's your choice. It's your prerogative. It is your mouth and your taste buds. So anyway, so Ashanti and me are like, he's standing in front of us in the elevator, and me and Ashanti are like behind him. And when I tell you, like, he was a stallion with unicorn magic, my God, he was built like a stallion. It was like, I don't know how to make a stallion. I don't know how to make a horse. How do you make a horse? Neigh? Neigh. I don't know. That sounds like a sheep. I don't know. But it was like he was a stallion. So I'm like, oh my God, like, where'd he come from? So Ashanti's on floor 5. We are in a skyrise. So Ashanti's 5, she gets off, gives me the look like, do you? Ashanti is very much attached. So I was single. I had just ended the relationship maybe a few months ago with my kid's father. So I'm single, and I'm like, I'm really not ready today, but I mean, for that I can make it out. So the flirting between me and him starts, and it's constant, and every time we see each other, it's flirting. It's visible flirting. Okay, very, very visible flirting. I'm like, I don't know, I'm one of those awkward people that if you are flirting with me, Ashanti and Crystal are telling me it's visible flirting. I'm one of those people, like, if you're flirting with me, you're gonna have to like tap me on my shoulder and let me know, like, I like you, because I'm awkward that way. Like, I'm awkward. I don't get it. Like, I don't know how to flirt. Although people swear up and down I'm flirting, and it's like, I just say hi. So at this point, Crystal and Ashanti are like gassing me up. They're like gassing me up. And I'm like, okay. So Ashanti and Crystal decide let's execute a plan to see if like he's feeling you or if he's just being nice, right? Because sometimes you just don't know. And I couldn't figure it out. They were like, I think he's feeling you, but maybe you're not giving the right signal to let him know like you're feeling him too. So they convinced me. And you guys, I don't fall into peer pressure, like, and I'm not trying to say they pressured me or anything, but I usually like, I'm one of those people that I like to make up my own mind. Like, you're not going to convince me to do anything that I have not decided for myself based on what I know and what I want. Like, I just don't get easily manipulated. Like, you just can't manipulate me. Like, I'm like, okay, oh well. You know, like, not for me. You know, I'm very like, you can't manipulate me type of person. So, or convince me to do something. But for some reason, I don't know if it was the fact that this man was so like, yeah, like The Rock fine. Like, who else is like super fine? Like, just name like the person that you're like just obsessed with, like that fine. Like, and he was so nice. Like, you know how like some people are like really attractive and they know they're super attractive and then they kind of act like they're too good for you, or, you know, snotty or whatever, or snobby. Not even like that. Like, dude was so freaking chill. Like, he was so cool and just talkative and so friendly. And Ashanti and Crystal convinced me to ask this man out to lunch. I'm a girl and I want to be the girl in the relationship. I'm a girl, so I don't really like the whole pursuing thing, because I don't like my feelings to be hurt. I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm awkward. I can't tell when somebody's feeling me, so I don't want to like get to the point where I'm like asking somebody out and I get shot down. Like, I don't like to shoot my shot that way. Like, give me a sign and then I might, you know, shoot a shot back, but you're gonna have to at least throw me the ball. Like, I'm just not gonna just, you gotta throw me the ball. Like, I gotta catch the ball in order to know that the shot needs to be taken. So I go and I listen to them and I asked them out to lunch. But I said with me and my friends, okay? So me and my girls. So me, Ashanti, Crystal, him. Invite whoever you want. Like, let's just go out. Let's just see if this is, you know, I was cool with friendship. Like, I wasn't necessarily looking for like an actual, like, I'm lying. I wanted the date. He was fine. Single. No kids. He was a stallion. Not that having kids is a bad thing, but he was just a stallion. Like, had a great job. I knew he was employed because he worked with me. Totally different department, but he worked with me. I knew where he worked. And I could just about guesstimate how much he made. So I'm like checking off the boxes, like car check, homeowner check, you know, job check. Like, he was just like, oh my gosh, me? So he was like, yeah, sure. Now, I don't know if your job or if you work or whatever, but there's like instant messenger. So we don't have to necessarily email or talk. We could just send a text message kind of situation. And so I sent the, you want to go out to lunch sometime, via text message. Wait, let me tell you guys how I even found out the dude's name. I found out his name by asking one of his employees, because he was over like a certain area in our building. And so I asked one of his employees what his name was. And that's how I found out. And that was the way, because we'd been calling him Georgia up until now. We had no idea what this man's name was up until the time that it was time to ask him to go to lunch. So I ping him and I'm like, hey, you want to go out to lunch with me and my friends? And I said, I hope you don't think it's weird that I know your name. He was like, oh yeah, it's a little weird, but I'm cool with that. I'm like, okay, you like my awkward. And he was like, sure, just tell me when. So I'm one of those people, like, I'm like, whenever, you know, like, I'm not like all into the schedule thing. Like, I'm just like, whenever. And Ashanti's like, no, Tuesday. Like, we're not gonna do it, whatever. We're not gonna give someone a choice to like never commit. So I'm like, okay, all right. So Tuesday come, dude's not, he's like, oh, I have a meeting, I have an interview, something. He said something and rescheduled. He was like, I'll reschedule when I come back from vacation. Never rescheduled. So I'm like, okay. Comes back from vacation and I'm like, giving me the highs. Hey, how you doing? I'm like, you gonna reschedule? You gonna reschedule? Like, what happened? You thought I forgot? Like, no, my memory is like an elephant. I never forget anything. So Ashanti and Crystal convinced me yet again to do something rather creepy. They convinced me after I'm like, they convinced me after like literally he escaped going out to lunch. Like, they convinced me to ping the man again. Specifically Ashanti. Like, Ashanti gave me the script, okay? Ashanti wrote a whole script for exactly what I should say. She did. And I copied and pasted that script straight into the messenger. And I sent it. And it went something like this. Hey, I'm just wondering, are you fond of me?
Look at this. Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this. Look at this.
What does that even mean? I don't even know. I just sent it. I might have like switched that word and used that word as opposed to Ashanti. I might have went off script. Actually, I did go off script because that's not even what Ashanti wrote, but I inserted the word fond as opposed to whatever word Ashanti said, because I'm like, nah, that's too direct. Fond is a little gentle, and if he says no, I won't feel any type of way. You guys, I sent it, and 1 second later, the man had pinged me back. And I was like a high school kid. I instantly went to Ashanti and Crystal like, oh my God, he pinged me back, but I don't want to read it. So Ashanti came up the elevator and sat at my desk and read the message for me. I felt like I sent the, do you like me? Yes, no, maybe, okay? Virtually, via text. So I'm like, I want to read it. Like, I don't even want to get my feelings hurt because I got to walk around this job and see this dude on a regular. And I just sent this damn message. Talk about, do you like me? I'm grown as hell. Just creepy, okay? I was just so creepy. And Ashanti comes, she sits at my desk, she opens the message, and she does like, you know, work office desk. They have wheels, they spin. She does a full 360, okay? I'm on the floor with my coworkers. We're in cubicles, okay? So they're like here. And she's like, oh my God, and runs out the door. And I'm like an idiot. Here I come running out the door with her like, what happened? What'd he say? Just like cringy and creepy. And she's like, he said yes. Like he said nothing else, just yes. I'm like, oh my God. So y'all know, for the rest of the duration, I came to work cute every day. I mean cute, okay? Strategically cute every day. Needless to say, that fondness, I don't know if that man was just trying not to hurt my feelings. Because, like, whenever I would see him, he no longer works where I work anymore, but whenever I would see him, he would still speak to me and say hi, and, you know, we would chit-chat or whatever, but it never went anywhere. Like, honestly, it didn't. And come to find out, one of the people that I ended up meeting over time used to work with him, and that man had a whole girlfriend. A whole girlfriend, like, seriously. Although, now I ain't gonna tell his business like that, but he had a whole girlfriend the whole time. Well, I don't know if he had a whole girlfriend the whole time, but she said he did. She said he's had a girlfriend for a while. He didn't stop flirting with people because he was legit flirting. Had me all in my feelings. But now that I think about it, like, hindsight being 2020, I'm gonna tell you guys, like, the real. I ain't like that man like that. He was not that cute in the face. I'm gonna be real honest with you. And then he had 5 strong outfits. Like, 5 outfits. Like, we knew Monday was red shirt day. Tuesday was tan. Wednesday was purple. He spiced it up with a little purple. Like, we knew exactly what he was gonna wear every day, like a standard uniform. And we don't have uniforms at my, like, I never wore a uniform ever. Maybe when I was in high school, I wore a uniform. But, like, I never had a job with a uniform. So, but he had his, like, rotation, his standard rotation. And to be honest with you, I've had a rotation too. When I was broke, I had a rotation too. But this man was not broke, let me tell you. So, I don't know. Maybe that's a man thing to have, like, a standard rotation of clothes. I don't know. Every man that I really knew, like, know other than that, they don't wear the same 5 outfits every week. I don't know. So, hindsight being 2020. Okay. Because, like, we're friends on LinkedIn. I'm like, I think my friends convinced me that you were cuter than what you were. Because, like, now, don't get me wrong. Body from neck, stallion. Face up, acne. Adult acne. But I am a sucker for a man with a bald head. For some reason, I'm a sucker for a man with a bald head, and that could have been it for me as well. But hindsight being 20, he wasn't like as soon as I stopped seeing him, or as soon as I got over it so quick, and it was like, it just fizzled, like, and so when I would see him again, I would be like, hey, how you? All right, bye. Like, no flirting, no nothing, like, nothing. I think my friends convinced me, but that's not the first time I've ever been convinced that I like somebody that I didn't really like. But yeah, I think my friends, like, talked me into it because of our back and forth kind of, like, flirting. That I was like, oh my God, it's my husband. No. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Poor Mom YouTube channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. That's a very embarrassing story for me to tell, so, but, you know, that's life. Make sure you guys tune in to the Poor Mom podcast. It's available on all streaming devices. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Go ahead and hit that like button. Show your girl some love. While you're at it, go ahead and subscribe so you could be a part of my Betty gang. And go ahead and hit that notification bell. And as always, cheers. Bye, y'all.